Today is my final project pan update. It's going to include all of my panning projects I've been doing this year, as well as the roll-ins for 2026. If you haven't seen, I already created a pan 26 by the end of 2026, and you can see that here. But today I am going to be refreshing some of my project pans, which ones are staying, which ones are going, and rolling new prompts, new rules. So stay tuned to hear all about it. So let's start with all of my projects first, get those out of the way, and then I can talk to you about which ones I'm choosing to keep. I would say my biggest project I did this year was my rolling project pan. So I have 10 products and I would set different goals, either 25 uses, 50 uses, or to completely finish that product. And last update was kind of tough. I feel like I've had a shortened time period from when I did my last update, but I still made some good progress and I'm happy to share with you. The first prompt was Harry Potter inspired. It was the Golden Snitch, something almost finished. And I chose my Sally Hansen nail oil. Last time I was a little nervous because there's some little floaties in there, and I decided not to use this, but I haven't thrown it out yet, obviously. I'm gonna go into my declutter pile, but you'll also see me doing all the products I finished this year. I will also keep numbers for which ones were decluttered. So I didn't use that one at all, but it's okay. I think it's better for me to realize that something may be off rather than just trying to force myself to use it to finish it. But anyways, the second prompt was a Gilmore Girls inspired one, and it was Dragonfly In. And I still have this product here. It's my Glossier Lid Star in Cup. There's definitely way more windows than we've ever seen on this product, but I still haven't finished it. To be fair, I feel like I haven't been wearing makeup as much lately, or not no makeup. Well, yes, both. Days that I am wearing makeup, I feel like I'm wearing less, and then I'm having more days where I'm just not wearing makeup. So no problem with that. A little disappointed that I didn't finish this one this year. I mean, I think there is still hope to finish it by the end of the year. I'll give it my best shot, but I'm not going to force it. I've been trying to pan this for multiple years now. So honestly, I don't know if I could finish it, but I will try. And that one I used a total of 56 times. I feel like I rolled this one pretty early in the year, and I mean, I really like the product, so it's funny that it is just never ending, but it's like I have 2 more of those, so it's definitely going to take forever. I always thought that powder eyeshadows took forever, but I guess liquid ones do too. Next prompt was something depotted, and this is another Glossier product. So this is one of the Glow Play highlighters, and I just put a little bit in this container because I wanted to see how it reacts to being exposed to air more frequently, because it is a cream highlighter. And I'm glad I didn't put the whole thing in here. I almost did, but then I was like, I should have it more long term of being like this and see how it is. And it still works fine. It's still really beautiful, but it definitely is thicker. It hasn't dried down completely, but that's the only thing keeping me away from completely depotting it. So I think I'll just do it in increments. I'm still working on this, and I've used it a total of 26 times now. So I think the goal for this was 25 times, so that would be 1 official roll out. I have fallen back in love with this highlighter. I think earlier in the year, I kind of had intentions of decluttering it at the end of this year, but I really like it now. I think really the problem was just that applicator. I took the stopper out and it's still pretty full, so it's just kind of a mess to deal with, but it's a really pretty product. Next up is a product I have not used in the past 2 updates, and this is the Holo Taco nail polish I had rolled in. This one was also in my one for the year that I was hoping I could finish, and I am not even close. I have to keep adding nail polish thinner, and I feel like that's just really demotivating for me. And I'm kind of sick of the color. I have been wearing it on my toes almost all year and then a few times on my hands, but I just don't really like how that color looks on me. And I think I'm just so over it. I also included it in my nail polish declutter. I haven't found someone to give it to yet, so I'm still kind of holding on to it, but I don't know what to do with it because I'm just so sick of it. Total uses, I think, are 8. No, total uses in this project is 8, so I've used it 18 times this year, and yeah, I'm just so sick of it. The next prompt was something fun, which I believe was also a Gilmore Girls inspired one. And I chose my Tarte Maracuja Juicy Shift in Blueberry. So it's one of those clicky pens in this really cute blue that turns purplish pink on the lips. And I'm at 45 uses. I think during my winter shop my stash, I somehow forgot that it was in a project and I moved it out. So I haven't seen it, and yeah, I was stuck at the 45 uses. But totally fine. I am trying to focus on just a few lip products at a time now, rather than having so many, because I feel like when I have so many, I don't have a chance to appreciate them and actually get multiple wears on them. So I'm hoping by just having a few, I can actually focus and use my products. Next prompt was something gray, and this was a little difficult, but I have this APH lip liner in Stormy, and I actually have been really enjoying pairing it with really muted pinks. So this one I've used a total of 8 times. I rolled this in last month or last update, so I didn't really think that I was gonna reach it 25 times. So 8 is okay. I did wish it was higher, but again, I have a lip liner in my 25 by 2025. So I was really hoping to prioritize that, and that's the lip liner I've been focusing on. Now for a big update, the next product was a hair product. So I chose this AG1 Curl Care Cream, and I hate it, and I finished it. I literally finished it yesterday. I'm so happy to be done with that product. I don't know, I think I got it after the reformulation because I had heard so many good reviews about this product. I don't know, it's just not that good. I feel like it doesn't really hold the curls in my hair. I mean, I did wash my hair last night, so my hair looks pretty good for now. But in a day or two, they just fall. I have to restyle my hair, and yeah, I just have not been a fan of it since, but I forced myself to use it, and now I can use one of my curl creams that I really like. It's a little pricey, but I really like that one. So I'm hoping that that experience will help me better research products, or maybe start with a trial size or something like that. It is really hard to find hair products that work for you, and it's harder to get reviews where it's with makeup you can see it and compare it people's skin color, things like that. That's definitely something that I want to work on for next year. I am really happy with how many hair products I've been finishing this year. That one took me 44 uses. Next prompt was Game of Thrones inspired, and it was Wildling, and it was a neutral and earthy product. So I chose my e.l.f. Love Triangle lip liner in the shade Mauve. And I like this because it is a pretty neutral shade, and I barely use this. I really like this product, but I had it in a bag for my 2026 products, and I haven't done anything with it. It is sitting right in front of me with all the products that I had, so this has not gotten much use. I've used it a total of 6 times since rolling it in, and yeah, didn't really get a head start on this for next year, but that's okay. I think that I could easily finish this one. I think this next prompt was also a Gilmore Girls inspired one. It's something fancy or sophisticated. So I chose my Dior Lip Addict Lip Balm, and this is the shade Icy Blue. And I've used this a total of 26 times, and I think the goal was 25. So I've made some good progress on it. I really like this. It's thin enough, but it is actually moisturizing. And I always forget that this one is a pH one, so it turns your lips pretty pink. And I keep thinking oh, it's just gonna be a nice little balm with a little shimmer in there, and then it throws off my makeup sometimes. But I have been enjoying this product, and I'm happy that I was able to get those uses. I've talked about this before, but whenever it's a fancier or more expensive product, I hesitate to use it, even though I bought it to use it. So that's definitely something I'm trying to overcome. And I like having those types of products in my rolling project because it encourages me to use them. And then the last prompt for this project was something that you used to love. And I chose my NYX Fat Oil Click Stick. It never fell out of love with me. I never fell out of love with it. I just hadn't used it for a while. So I rolled one in, and I've used it a total of 25 times, which I believe is also my goal. So I'm pretty happy about that. I will say, because of the clicky application, I do find it a little difficult to estimate how much I need. So sometimes I overestimate, sometimes I underestimate it. I do love how glossy it is, and it's just very comfortable on the lips, but has nice pigment. Not much progress, but kind of as expected because I had a shorter time frame and had also rolled in some new products. Now we can switch gears to my other 2 projects that I have been doing this year. I have a samples project and then a project 10 uses project. For the samples, I'm pretty sure I finished all of them. I had 2 fragrances. One was actually a men's cologne, so I gave that one to my boyfriend, and then I finished the other one. For skincare, I believe I had one little packet, and then the other was this face mask, or kind of like an exfoliator. That's the only one I didn't finish because it just much more than I expected, and I have dry skin. I have pretty dry skin, so I haven't been exfoliating as often, and when I do, I like to interchange it with like a chemical exfoliant. I actually don't remember which products I had. I think I had a hair mask and an Olaplex treatment, and the hair mask I did finish. It was pretty okay, nothing special about it, and I think it was only like 2 or 3 uses, but I do have a lot of hair, so. And then the Olaplex one I also did not finish, though I'm quite close to finishing it. And then finally for my project 10 uses, I was definitely like the least organized with these 2 projects just because they were very sporadic for me and I had a hard time of like not tracking the products usage, so then I wasn't really like paying attention to which products they were. But I had 5 products and different prompts. The first one was a single shadow. I'm pretty sure I had that happen where I also pulled it out from my Shop My Stash because I forgot that it was in a project. So that one was at 6 uses, which is pretty good, like 60%. I mean, I guess that's not great, but I was almost there. Next was another Gilmore Girls one, and this was Suki's Kitchen, so something like bright and vibrant. So I chose my Oh So Daisy body mist, and this one I've used also 6 times. And I just have a hard time like using fragrances, I feel like. Like when they're in little samples, that's pretty easy because I can store it on top and I can see it, so I use it. But when I don't see it, I just forget it's there, or if I have it in a project. So I think that is also what happened with this one. Next up was Packaging You Hate. So I have this little lipstick from Dior, and this was just a little sample that I got. I do find this difficult just because like you have to have a lip brush to put it on, and that's not something I want to do like take with me. So usually in the morning I'll put it on and then I'll have a secondary product that I can bring with me to work. But I like this one. Again, I just kind of forget that it's there, so hopefully I can finish this soon. I've had it open for I think like since summer, so it still works fine. And I have noticed like right in the center, when I put my brush in there, it looks like I'm almost seeing through to the end of the packaging. So I do think that this is something I could finish soon, and I'm happy that the formula is still nice. This one I've used a total of 5 times, so definitely need to ramp that up if I want to finish it. Up, the prompt was a spray, so I chose my iconic London Prep Set Glow Spray. And this is something I wanted to finish this year, and I don't think I will. It's just kind of glittery and doesn't really set your makeup. It's pretty, but it just kind of like struggle to pair it with certain products. This one I've had the most progress. I've used it 19 times. And then the last prompt was something hyped up, and I chose my NYX Lip IV, and I also moved that one out because it was more of a fall shade, so I used it a total of 7 times. That wraps up all the projects I had going this year. I'm very happy with the progress I made. I feel like I was able to finish a lot of products or just make good progress on products, and I really liked incorporating the samples, though I wasn't the best at tracking it. So for the upcoming year, I want to roll my prompts now just so I can get a little bit of a head start on using some of them, and I'm going to be making new rules for some of my projects. For my rolling project, I still want to pick 10 products, and I'm going to be changing some rules for this one. Before, I had 3 different options for the usage, so 25, 50, or completely finish, and I think I want to change it to only either like hit pan or finish. That way, I'm not rolling in products as frequently, but I'm really getting usage on these products. So I'm hoping that this will help me in focusing on them, get less confused, and actually be able to make significant progress on products. I feel like it was fun to roll in products almost every single update. With doing that, it got very confusing. Sometimes it didn't go well with my Shop My Stash, and things could clash. I'm hoping by doing this, it will reduce like how many issues come up with project planning, and I can truly focus on products. I have this wheel. I'm going to reset it. So there's 102 prompts and they're all there now. So with these, I really am going to have to be intentional, but that is okay. I'm hoping that these prompts are open enough where I can find something that I want to finish. So the first prompt is going to be Something you wouldn't repurchase. Okay, so I guess I'm going to be hate panning something. Then I'm going to be marking all of these off. I don't want any repeats when it does come time to reroll. So then my second prompt is going to be, okay, Gilmore Girls, Luke Steiner, reliable, no fuss product. Okay, that's better than the last one. All right, and then number 3 is something with bulky packaging. And then number 4 is the Night King dark or dramatic product. Next up, we have Slytherin sleek packaging. 7th prompt is something blue. I feel like that one's going to be a little tricky for me. Next prompt is Goblet of Fire, something that reminds you of Cedric. Number 8 is Suki's Kitchen, colorful or vibrant. Number 9 is something that was a gift. And the final prompt for this project is something yellow. Funny how it only used like half of the wheel, but I'm going to go look for these. But before I do that, I'm going to roll some prompts for my project 10 uses. I want to keep my project 10 uses because I feel like that'll give me a little bit of something to have fun with. But for this, I'm only going to be rolling 2 prompts. I think that's a lot more manageable, and that way, like, again, I can actually finish these if I want this project to be successful, but it shouldn't interfere too much with my other projects going on. First prompt for this will be something with a wand, and the second prompt is going to be something orange. I'm going to go grab those products. I picked the products for my rolling project as well as my project 10 uses. I'm actually going to do the samples another day because my camera's about to die. For the rolling project, these are the big goals of either hitting pan or completely finishing. I really tried to focus on the long-term goals for these products, so it took me a little bit. I had to be a little creative with some of them. The first prompt was something that you wouldn't repurchase. There were quite a few, but realistically, I tried to choose one that I could finish soon, hopefully. So I chose my lip oil from e.l.f. It was on its side, but this one is a little slightly around halfway. It's not a horrible product, I just find it really hard to wear during the day. It's quite moisturizing and hydrating, but also it's very sticky and really thick. So I usually just wear this at night and my lips feel nice in the morning. So I'm going to try and finish it by using it that way. I also don't like it during the day because if I try to layer something underneath it, it ends up just being a really gloopy mess and I don't like that. So that one is starting at 29.7 grams. Hopefully I can finish it within the first few months, but that is where we are now. For something reliable, I actually chose a foundation, and I chose one that isn't in my 2026 goals. So this one is my CoverGirl Clean Invisible Foundation, and just kind of like hearing how much is in there, I feel like I'm around halfway, maybe a little bit more. And I'm hoping that this would be like an easy win. It's a little closer to my skin now, and it's a nice like thin formula. So I find it really nice to not be too thick or too high coverage, but then adds a little bit of color to the skin. This one is starting at 31.8 grams, and I brought this in because I was hoping to maybe have another foundation done this year. Most of the foundations I chose were pretty dark, so this is something that I can work on like in the beginning of the year. For something with bulky packaging, I chose my Kosas Cloud Set powder, and this is the pressed powder one. And it's still like pretty new. I think I got this year. I just feel like it's very bulky and it's not my favorite powder formula, but I'm hoping to at least hit pan on this. I don't know how long it's gonna take. There's still quite a dome there, but I'm a fan of pressed powders, so I'm sure I can get this to work. That one is starting at 77.6 grams. Next up for Night King, I just chose an eyeliner, and this is a black one from Estee Lauder. I'm not a big fan of eyeliners, especially black ones, which is so funny because like in middle school and high school, black eyeliner was all I wore. But it's just not really what I gravitate towards, especially this one. I'm not a big fan of the formula. How I get this to work is kind of like smudging it and then taking a brush and just smudging it out, and I think that's pretty. Or tight lining. So I think this one's a mini, and I have some already used, but I'm gonna try and use as much as I can next year. And this one is starting at 4.1 grams. For the Slytherin sleek packaging, I also chose another pressed powder, and this is the one from Charlotte Tilbury. I have a pretty decent pan in this one already, so I would like to just finish this product. And this should be fairly easy. I've been gravitating more towards loose powders lately, but I can definitely do this. I've done it before. That one is starting at 53.7 grams. For the prompt Something Blue, this one was really difficult because I don't really want to do an eyeshadow. So I went for packaging, and this is the Ava NYC Hydrating Scalp Serum. I like this product, and again, it's just one of those that I tend to kind of forget about, but it is nice and I could definitely use it more often. So I'm not sure how much is left. It's still pretty new, but I feel like I'm already around here. So we'll see how long it takes to use this. Now it's starting at 65.6 grams. This next one, for something that reminds you of Cedric, I really struggled. I think in the past I chose my Charlotte Tilbury setting powder, but it kind of felt more Slytherin to me. So I went with something just based on the color, not necessarily the Cedric. So I think it's in Hufflepuff, so I chose my Burt's Bees foot cream. And this one is fairly new. I got this for my birthday, so looking at it, it's like, no, I think it's pretty full. But I tend to forget about these types of products, and I do like this one, so this one's going to be more of a challenge for me, where I try to put in some freebies here and there. And this one is starting at 132.2 grams. For Suki's Kitchen, something colorful or vibrant, I definitely went with a freebie for this, and this is my Bioma Balancing Face Mist. This one is almost empty, like there's barely anything in there. I already have it back up, but the goal is to finish this so that I can still have some motivation early on in the year when I finish this, hopefully by the end of December. And this one is starting at 92.8 grams. For a product that is a gift, I chose my Maybelline Super Stay Teddy Tints. This one also could have worked for the bulky packaging, but I decided to do something else for that. And I really like this one. I feel like I haven't used it in quite a while, even though I got it like earlier in the year, I think. And I miss it. I really enjoyed this one, and I like the color and everything about it. So I would like to get some use, and I'm also really trying to finish a lot of lip products this year. So I'm hoping that by having this project that I can kind of push myself to use it, especially something that I like, I should still get use out of. So this one is starting at 52.6 grams. I think it's fairly full still, so this one's going to take a while, but I'm eager to get onto it. And then the last prompt was something yellow, and again, this one seemed pretty obvious. I rolled in my Starface lip balm again. I had this last time, but I made such good progress, and I think this one will also be another easy win. That is how much product is left, so I really do think that I can get this done nice and early, and this counts as a lip product to me, so I would be very happy to have this done early. For my Project 10 uses, I kind of cheated a little. I picked some products that are in my pan for 2026. I'm excited to get started on some of these, and I know some are going to take longer than others, so putting them in my Project 10 uses is just going to give me a little bit of push and familiarize myself with these products again. Something with a wand, I chose my Benefit Benetint. Still a lot of product in here, so I'm really gonna have to work on it. I like to use this as a lip liner, so I think it will come in handy in these winter months, and hopefully I can get those 10 uses, maybe more by the next update. But this is what we're looking like. For this one, I'm not taking weights. It's 10 uses, so it's just gonna be on visual sake. And then something orange. This is kind of a stretch, but there is some orange on the packaging here. This is my hair oil from African Pride, and I'm gonna be using this as like a pre-shower oil. So I've already marked where I am to start the year, but I really need this push to use this product because I'm not a big fan of it, and it's also been a while since I've used it, so I think after 10 uses I should be more familiar if I like it or not and kind of know how I can use it. So that wraps up my final update as well as my intro for my projects. I'm super excited. I really like that I was able to refresh some of these products and prompts, and I think having that larger goal of panning or finishing the product, I think it will keep me motivated to use these products as well as being able to roll something new in. I also think this will relieve me some of the stress of having too many projects or too many products I'm trying to finish. I still want to finish a lot, but I think by having more dedicated use to some of these, it's going to be a little easier. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're just as excited as I am to start the new year with new projects. Let me know below if you're doing any project panning this year and what type of projects you like to see. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's Vlogmas video.